Hey, this is MassX with a brand new Marvel Mystic Mayhem video, and we have our second banner that has dropped. Of course, everybody's already aware it is The Thing, and of course, Mr. Fantastic. I did out of the gate 180 pulls. I would like to say they were phenomenal. They were okay, average at best. They're playing in the background, but we're going to talk about this character. I've already been able to build both The Thing and Mr. Fantastic up, and we'll talk about their uses, especially the team as a whole, and where so far at least they're seeming to shine. Now, of course, Mr. Fantastic, you probably are already aware, he's a buffer. He can do some damage as a fighter. He's actually does pretty good damage with that bouncing ball, but basically his main skill, outreach effort, it's a physical damage. It's 352% of his attack as physical damage, and it's similar to The Thing, just the opposite direction with the collision, with that additional 176% of Mr. Fantastic's attack as physical damage to enemies and collided enemies, and stuns them depending on where you have them at. So it's pretty effective. Then you have the bouncing ball dash, which I was speaking about before, which moves to the target location and does a whopping 640% of Mr. Fantastic's attack as physical damage to adjacent enemies. And I've noticed that has been pretty darn effective, quite honestly. And then you've got the ultimate, which really is pretty darn good in testing so far. Brilliant Brain grants all allies 100 ultimate energy and Fantastic Formula for 15 seconds. Fantastic Formula increases ultimate move damage by 115%. And one of the nice things you have is with that dash bouncing ball, depending on where you get your Mr. Fantastic at, it will be counted as ultimate damage. So yeah, that plays into him, increasing that damage he can give out. It also helps out timing with your characters. So yeah, he's not bad at all. His highlight that's specific for him is actually good on him. The wearer's HP and attack increases by 10%, so that's going to help him out a lot. When the wearer uses a buff type ultimate move, their attack increases by 30%. Again, that's what he has. Additional effect when equipped by Mr. Fantastic. While in Fantastic Formula status, Bouncing Ball will always deal critical hit, which is also effective if you're playing manual and timing things out. It does work really well. So I've been doing a lot of testing over the week and just wanting to test different formations of this Fantastic Four group. Now that Reed is out and could level the thing up even more, I did a multitude of different trials that I could, since you're only given 5 a day. But either way, what I'm finding is The Thing, Johnny, and Sue are definitely better, at least in what our quasi PvP mode is for this game. We really don't have a all-out PvE mode by no means. When I put Reed in, they were still doing great damage. The thing is, you have to think about how it works with Bitfrost Brawl. So getting that Thing taunt and stuns, especially when you would get that the Thing to taunt right out of the gate, it draws the other players in. It allows Sue and Johnny to build up to those ultimates and execute and pretty much annihilate 2/3 of the team a lot of the time. It was very effective. But with Reed, you don't get that, so you're taking much more hits to your team, losing Sue one time, things like that. So I definitely give the edge for the Fantastic Four by far to the Thing, Johnny, and Sue team when it comes to our quasi PvP in this game. Now, when you're talking about something like boss battles like Eye of the Nightmare, I've also been doing nothing but just testing out different formations. Same thing with the PvP. At first, I just did Johnny and Sue, and then, of course, added Cap in for both that and for boss battles. And, you know, with Cap in place of Thing, it worked actually better most of the time. But now that I've been able to get my Thing up, I am noticing how quick that team is, of course, with its energy regeneration, its self-buffing among its members. It really gets a nice boost when you can effectively use 3, but that doesn't mean you can't use another party in there. And for me, it was always Captain America seemed to work the best. But in Nightfall, I had a nightmare. What I did find is, at least with Thing, Johnny, and Sue, they were fine. With Reed, Johnny, and Sue, it was effectively working much better in that type of boss battle situation, as I had a nightmare and was getting very close to those numbers when I would run just Sue, Johnny, and Capped, or Sue, Johnny in another DPS. So that is interesting. I think the more I'm able to tweak Reed and really time out manually the rotation perfectly to take advantage of all those different buffs that are occurring, there's a good chance I think that team could be very effective in something like this. But my real thoughts is I think they're all solid characters. The one thing is I think nobody can say any one of these are bad characters. I think, though, their benefit is too big for you to not be using a minimum of 2 of them at a time, which does limit your type of building. And at least now in the first 24 hours, because I did already have Thing built up, and now Reed, and really starting to mesh that 3 team together, fully taking advantage of what they do for each other, you can see how it works and how effective it is. But I do think it is solely a manual team for content that you're like wanting to try to get at the highest score or do something, because you really do have to get those timings, make sure you are setting off the right order for your ultimates, etc. But they are a great team. There's no doubt about that. And that Johnny Sue Thing team really went 4 of 5 today in PvP, and the only loss I took was I accidentally hit on a team member on my alliance, so I backed out and took the loss instead of hitting them. So yeah, so it basically went 4 wins straight away, that 3 team today. Very effective and very good when using the Thing, though. So let me know if you're pulling on this banner, what you think. So I'm a huge F4 fan, so there was no way I wasn't getting in full force on this banner, since I haven't gone crazy on anything in this game beforehand, since they all were just going into the general pool. I really wanted to just have some fun, and knowing I'd probably use these for quite some time in the game. So with that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.